In this video, we're going to talk about bees. Now, when you think of a bee, you probably get a picture in your head, right? A fuzzy yellow and black honeybee. But what if I told you that's like looking at one single star and thinking you've seen the entire universe? We're about to dive into their shocking diversity, their absolutely critical role in our food supply, and the silent battles they're fighting for us every single day. Okay, let's just kick things off with a fact that is going to completely reframe how you see these little guys. Ready for this? There are more species of bees on Earth than species of birds and mammals combined. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't just about the honeybee we all know. We're talking about a vast, unbelievably diverse family that is essential to our planet. So here's our flight plan. First, we'll take a tour of the globe to see where all these bees live. Then we'll uncover their true value, which, spoiler alert, goes way beyond honey. We'll look at the army of enemies they're up against, but don't worry, we'll also meet the allies fighting in their corner. And we'll wrap it all up with 5 astonishing facts that you're not going to forget. Alright, section 1. A world full of bees. So where on earth are all these different bees anyway? Let's zoom out and take a look at the global presence because the map is actually changing in some really surprising ways. This map tells a fascinating story. It's not so much about bees migrating, but about beekeeping migrating. While the number of managed beehives is actually going down in places like Europe and North America, they're on the rise in Asia, Africa, and South America. It's a really complex situation tied to economics and just how many people are taking up beekeeping around the world. And here's a fantastic little twist for you. You probably think the most bee species would be buzzing around in the lush green tropics, right? Well, nope. Bee diversity is actually highest in drier, more temperate places, even deserts. So why is that? It seems that the low-lying flowers in these arid regions are basically an all-you-can-eat buffet for bees, way easier to get to than the flowers hidden away in dense forests. Okay, section 2. More than just honey. Look, we often measure a bee's worth by the honey we put in our tea, but that's like buying your smartphone just for its flashlight. Their real contribution is, well, it's mind-bogglingly bigger. This slide right here puts it all into perspective. On the left, the honey produced in the EU is worth about 140 million euros. A lot of money, for sure, but now look to the right. The value of the pollination that bees and other insects provide is estimated at 153 billion euros. That's billion with a B, that's not a typo. It's over 1,000 times more value. So, what does a number that huge actually mean for what's on our dinner plates? Well, it means that about 35% of all the food we produce globally depends on pollinators like bees. We're talking about a huge chunk of our fruits, of vegetables, and our nuts. Yet our 65%? That's mostly crops like corn and wheat, which just rely on the wind to do the job. Let's move on to section 3, an army of enemies. Because this incredible, essential workforce, well, it's in deep, deep trouble. They're facing an entire army of enemies, and it's not just one single front, it's a deadly combination of things. Meet's public enemy number 1 for honeybees, the varroa mite. I mean, its scientific name is literally Varroa destructor, and man does it live up to the name. This tiny parasite latches onto bees, feeding on them, weakening them. But what's even worse is that it acts like a dirty needle, spreading deadly viruses throughout the entire colony. But the varroa mite isn't working alone. Researchers call this a multifactorial problem, which is just a sciencey way of saying it's a perfect storm. It's basically a 4-pronged attack. You've got pests and diseases weakening them. You've got pesticides that can poison them. Habitat loss is literally starving them. And sometimes even poor beekeeping practices can leave the colonies too weak to fight back. Section 4? Allies and solutions. Okay, that all sounds pretty grim, I know, but the story absolutely does not end there. There's another army in this fight, an army of allies who are working on some really powerful solutions. One of the most powerful things we can do is surprisingly simple. Give bees back their food. Just by creating and protecting habitats like bees' beautiful flower-rich meadows, we give them the diverse diet they need to stay healthy and strong enough to fight off diseases. And of course, there are the beekeepers, the frontline guardians of the hive. Good beekeeping is a real science. It means constantly checking for pests, making sure the colony has enough food to get through the winter, and keeping the hive strong and healthy, which sometimes means bringing in a whole new queen. Alright, last section, 5 astonishing facts. To wrap things up, let's hit you with 5 final fascinating facts that really show just how incredible the world of bees truly is. Ready? Fact number 1. There are over 20,000 known species of bees in the world. 20,000. Insane. Fact number 2. In Europe, where there are hundreds of different bee species, only one, just one, the western honeybee is managed for honey. That is such a tiny fraction of the amazing diversity that's buzzing all around us. Fact number 3. Get this. An incredible 97% of the beekeepers in the European Union are hobbyists. This vital work is being done not for money, but almost entirely out of pure passion. Fact number 4. We always think of bees living in this big complex hive with a queen, and yeah, many do. But a huge number of wild bee species are actually solitary. They're basically single moms living and raising their young completely on their own. And fact number 5. As of today, there are an estimated 65 million managed beehives across the entire globe. That is a massive army of tiny workers doing a very variable job for all of us. So, here's the bottom line. Bees are so much more than just honeymakers. They are fundamental pillars of our ecosystems and our food systems. Their story is complex, it's filled with incredible diversity, immense value, and some really serious threats. Which leaves us with a critical question to think about. How can we better protect bees' smallest, hardest workers? Alright, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.